Okay, guys, two birds with one stone here. We've got an Anytone Quad 5 for Mr. Woody and a 2-pill 2879C sideband bias and delay for Daniel. So we're going to test them both together here. I'll show you what the Anytone's kind of doing first. We've kind of got it preset the way we're going to run it into the 2-pill on AM, that is. Now, when we go to sideband, we'll end up turning it wide open. And we'll go ahead and just show you kind of what we're going to be doing with the radio. Make sure it's receiving here. There you go. That's on AM. Hello, hello, hello. There you go. So receiving just fine. Really quiet receive on these. Turn that off. And let's see what the radio's doing. So power supply set at 14.8. It's actually probably about 14.6 by the time it gets to the end of our cables. But we'll check her out here. We got a 100-watt slug, a 100-watt slug. In our bird meter here, we're not on peak. We're looking at the bottom scale. So what is that? Like 7-watt dead key? Oh, about 6. They're not big average power swingers. They do a lot like an HF rig does. Actually, most HF rigs, if you put them on AM, they will actually back up a little bit on average. Now, they're swinging forward on peak, but they'll back up on average. These actually bump forward just a little bit. Oh. So about 6-watt dead key swinging 10 watts average. Now, that's where we're going to test it on AM. Just for kicks, you guys want to see what it does on PEP from right here. Hello, audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio check 1, 2, 3. Talking around 55 to 60. And I think that's about what they do wide open. We can turn this one wide open just to see. Hello, check 1, 2, 3. Audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio. So a little bit over 60 on AM. And then sideband. Hello, audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio check 1. So on upper sideband doing about 50. Lower sideband. Audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio. And on lower sideband about 50. On AM it's doing a little bit more. So it's doing like 60 watts on AM. Okay, now let's turn all that off. Back it back down to around 1 o'clock. And we will go ahead and turn our 2-pill 2879C on. Again, no crazy noises, nothing in the receive there. Sideband delay, we can turn it on. We'll go ahead and test it on sideband first. We'll turn this wide open for the sideband test. And let's take this 100-watt element out. And what the heck, we'll put our 1000 in. Alright, so bottom scale, that way we're sticking with the same scale, except now 100 is reading 1000. And we'll just talk into it on sideband and see how it does here. Alright, audio check 1, 2, 3. Audio check 1, 2, 3. And that's about right. 50 watts PEP. We're not volting the amp, and we're seeing around 400 PEP out of it. That's about what these usually do with my Connex hitting them. And my Connex does around 50 PEP. So that's right in line with what we would expect. 400 watts PEP. Now, we had the sideband delay on there, by the way. See how much it's drawing here? This is on sideband. Sideband, 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 sideband. Audio check 1, 2, 3. That kind of speaks for itself. I don't have to tell you guys. But 40 amps plus. Now, I think the gentleman that's getting this is planning on just running a Cobra 148 into it. He may find that the 148 doesn't drive it hard enough, especially if he's running it below 15 volts. Now, if he cranks the voltage up on it, 15.5, 16 volts, it'll probably do pretty good with a 148. But if you're running lower voltage on it, like what we are right now, say we're showing 14.7 now, then you're not going to see big numbers out of it until you start driving it pretty good. We could put 100 watts PEP into this thing versus the 50 that we're putting into it now, and it would really go crazy. Okay, so now we're going to test it on AM, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and back this back down and get in the ballpark here. Put this on average so we can set our dead key. It's pretty close. Dang, that was pretty good. Spot on, really. About a 100 watt dead key there. And like I said, guys, not going to see a huge number on average. It's probably just going to barely pull forward. Hello? Hello? Audio? Hello? So it's just barely nudging forward on average power. Again, that's just how these radios do. They're a lot like some of the HF rigs. And even if you go way back on like some of the older radios that used to come out, the Johnson transmitters, Collins transmitters, stuff like that, that's the way they function on average power. They may dead key 50 watts, but they don't swing forward or backwards much at all on AM. So that's not an uncommon thing for these radios to do that. That's the way a lot of old radios do. And like I said, most of your HF rigs, the ICOMs, Yaesus, Kenwoods, they may sound like $1,000,000, but on average power, they're going to back up a little bit. This one actually pulls forward just a shade. Show you what's doing on AM. Why not? Should be about the same. Check audio, check audio, check audio, check audio, check audio. So a little bit less, about 400, just right under 400 PEP there on AM. And just barely over 100 average. But again, the radio is only putting 10 watts average into it, so, you know, go figure. That's about what we can expect. 10 watts average in, 100 to 110 watts average out. And then putting that 50 watts PEP into it on sideband or AM, and we're seeing, you know, right around 400 PEP out of it. So, good running amp, nice radio. I like these. Some people are not crazy about these because no, they don't do a ton of average power, and they work in proportion with the way you've got them set on the RF power here. But if you can get around that and that doesn't bother you, they're a good sounding radio. You know, I've got an ICOM sitting in there that's a super high dollar radio, and it backs up on average power, but still sounds good on the radio. So, you know, everybody likes the way it sounds and everything once they got used to hearing me talk on it. But it actually backs up on average. So don't let that discourage you from these radios. Still really nice running radios, good receive on them. They sound excellent. Put a Superstar 507 on them. That's my, or CM4, either one. That's my recommendation. But that's it, guys. 2-pill 2879C. This one sold Mr. Daniel. Woody's Quad 5. Going to get these guys boxed up and try to get these shipped up out of here by the holiday. This one should have already been out. Been slow on this one, so it's been a busy week. So Daniel, sorry about it, man. I know I've been slow on it. I should have already had this one out to you, but wanted to get a video done on it before it goes out. All right, guys, Rooster in Tennessee. Questions, comments, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Catch you guys out there. See you, bye.